I'm gonna keep stopping and pausing just to talk about it. I think the best thing they've done is with Herschel's character. Herschel's character, they've already expanded like what was implied in the, well, not implied, we saw that in the comic book, but we never really saw that in the TV show. So I'm glad that they're now doing this whole, like, Maggie was corrupted by Negan, and Herschel never really had a mother, and he obviously didn't have a father. So he isn't exactly happy, you know? He's struggling, and he wants affection. Here we go. Somehow, Lucille returned. And I saw this, and I was like, oh no. Please be a flashback. Please be a flashback. Please. You have no idea how many questions I have about the logistics of this stuff. The fact that they have a truck, the fact that they can do this like theatrical thing of turning on the lights and everything, this is not an established community. They're in the middle of a city. We're just putting it out there. Oh, and that's it. Okay, so basically, my thoughts on this is, they haven't changed. It's basically the same thing. They're doing the whole Maggie and Negan are somehow pushed to work together, but they're still gonna hate each other, right? But then Maggie's gonna say, it's different now. And then Negan's gonna do something shady. And once again, they'll be at odds. And then Negan's gonna be like, oh, I was actually being evil to command them. And then they'll once again work together. Yada yada, rinse and repeat. I don't see anything in this trailer that signals to me that they've really changed vision and they're going to give Maggie like a slightly different story. The only thing that gives me hope is Herschel. Because I wish we explored that side of Maggie's character, coming to terms with the fact that her son, well, I don't want to say hates her, but the fact that he really, really wants affection, which is why he is so drawn to this lady whose name I already forgot. This little bro just wants someone to love him. Meanwhile, his mother is running around New York with a baseball-wielding maniac. So, we'll see. I don't know. There are definitely cool shots in terms of cinematography. Like, I see this, you show me something like this, and I'm like, okay, I'm locked in. I am locked in. Like, it's such... this shot is gorgeous. I love this shot. It's beautiful. The overgrown city. All the cars piled up. Oh, it is so good. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But everything else is kind of like, Like, this is just so theatrical to me. I don't know what this is, though. Are they doing, like, weird experiments or something? I don't know. This is just weird. This looks so incredibly silly to me. The fact that they're just marching down the street again and they're in this... The walkers in Season 1 is the thing that bothered me the most. It's like they were walking in weird, like, packs, and they were only showing up when it was convenient for the plot. It's the same thing I've like kept repeating a million times. It feels like they've forgotten like the rules of the world and how the world itself reacts to their actions. It's just like they are the ones moving the story along, and whenever like they're not talking, whenever like the plot itself is not progressing, the world itself is stationary, and that bothers me a lot because it sort of loses its entire allure to me. And also, yeah, like Negan, Croat, you know, is gonna be with the Maggie at odds thing again. And they've got flamethrowers now, apparently. Which is interesting. But yeah. That's Maggie and Negan. Nothing has really changed for me. I might check it out. I'm not gonna watch it every week. I can already guarantee that. Because even with The Ones Who Live, by the end I was like, I wasn't really, like, rushing to watch it. Spin-offs are really making me want the stories with the OG characters to end so we can get some new stuff with new characters back in the early times of the apocalypse. 1,000,000% yes. Yes. I want them to try new stuff. Because I don't, like... I keep saying they're repeating the same ideas. And I think they're repeating the same ideas because they're locked into these characters. I don't think these characters have a lot of stories to tell. You know? And when they do, it's not going to be with the same exact conflict that we've covered before. I don't even want to really, like, say the writing and stuff is sort of uninspired when it's clearly the executives putting them in this box, right? That they need to tell this story. Because the ideas they have around Herschel and stuff, those I like. It's like the core conflict in the story that is so old that I'm just like, can we please stop? It's the same thing. Please. Let Maggie escape and then deal with the ramifications of not, like, looking after Herschel. That's what I want. Maybe that's what they're going to do, and the Negan conflict is going to be pushed to the wayside. I don't think so, but we'll see. That said, Daryl Dixon, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol, Season 2, official trailer, featuring Norman Reedus. Very good SEO. Let's watch it. He's one-handing a guitar. Okay.
Daryl Dixon? I heard you were dead.
Once again, I hate this. They're making characters in an apocalypse, and not just an apocalypse, but decades into the apocalypse, heroes that, like, know each other's names. It's silly to me. He's not James Bond.
You were dead.
We're talking about flying a plane. Plane across. No idea what's waiting on the other side.
The best part about that is that they acknowledge multiple times how dumb it is, and then go through with it, almost as if it was like the most campy, funny, goofy, Borderlands-esque storyline out there. It's like, oh, you know we're gonna die, right? Hell yeah, I do. That's why I'm doing it. And they just go off. Oh my god. I still don't understand where they're getting their ammo from. Just gonna put it out there. I don't know where they're getting their fuel from. I don't know where they're getting their ammo from. All of these things have been like things that we have covered in the main show as difficult to get, and we are currently dealing with far less developed communities than we had.
We have work to do.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what the worst part is? I remember people were asking, how does Daryl get to France? How does Daryl get to France from the United States in the middle of an apocalypse? Okay, he was on some sort of big boat. He was stranded and washed up. So then the question arises, wait. So Carol's gonna be in season 2. How's she gonna get to France? And they just fly over there with like a, what is this? Is this like a Cessna? This looks like that small plane that you can go on those like small flights, and they oh my god.
Work to do.
And they crash landed. Oh my god. This looks like a flashback. Oh, this looks like a Louvre. I have no idea how to pronounce the word in English, but it's this right here. This looks like a flashback to the start of the apocalypse. Which big W? Ooh. That's a lot of running walkers. Interesting. Almost as if. You know what? We're not gonna say that. This is just so dumb. This is just. I hate this so much. I hate how campy it is. It's so like performative. It has like no grit. Like, look at it. They're just lining up. That's one, and that's another one. He turns around, gets another one. Like, what? I'm gonna be real with you right now. I'm gonna be real with you right now. I'm gonna be real with you right now. I don't even know how much I would have to suspend my disbelief for me to like actively enjoy this show. Season 1 had interesting ideas, and I think Season 1 was decent for what it was trying to do. The amount of coincidences, the amount of things that need to line up for Season 2 to even exist is insane to me. And the fact that we have scenes like this where they're literally just lining up like NPCs, just waiting to be hit, it is so performative. It's like the antithesis of what The Walking Dead was. And I hate it so much. Like, look at this. They're coming at him one by one. I am so shocked and sad. I am so shocked and sad. I am so shocked and sad. I don't know what this is supposed to be. This is some sort of weird nuclear reactor zombies. Can you imagine, like, can you imagine about, let's break down what happens in this season. Yeah, season 3 is already confirmed, and it's happening in Spain. And not France, in Spain. Now, to be fair, getting across Europe, extremely simple. It's not like in the US is massive compared to Europe. You can easily get across the entirety of the EU very quickly. In the apocalypse, probably not so much, which is what I was going to get to. Can you imagine the sheer idea of someone in the comic book? It's just the concept of saying someone is lost in France. We are like next to Washington in the US. We need to get across the freaking ocean and find someone, one person, in the middle of an apocalypse on another continent. It's not even like, think about how rarely you run into people like that live around you, just like, I don't know, while on a run to the store or something. I don't even know. This is like, it's so goofy. It's so goofy, and the fact that they fly a plane too. They literally just fly a plane over there. You know what? What's worse? Let's think about this real quick. What is worse? The beer balloon? Or Carol flying across the entirety of the ocean on a random Tuesday with a random dude she just met and finding Daryl in an entire country on a separate continent? What is worse? I don't think it's the beer balloon. Like, and that's the thing. Like, this is kind of the same problem that The Ones Who Live had, in my opinion, because they wrote themselves into a corner. Like, if you create this group that is like the strongest military on the planet, but the story must end with Rick reuniting with his family, you can't really write a traditional Walking Dead narrative, because you cannot get from point A to point B in this story. Like, it literally just couldn't happen realistically. And that's why you have the whole thing of all of them just blowing up. And it's the same thing here. Like, you want to have Carol in France, it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too, basically. If you wanted Carol in France, she should have been there in season 1. And they should have gotten there through completely different means. Making her get over there through this weird convoluted taking a plane and tracking him down is insane. It makes very, very little sense, even by the Walking Dead standards. This is Z Nation now. Z Nation was more consistent in its rules. And I mean this wholeheartedly. Z Nation was goofy. But Z Nation was consistently goofy. It was never trying to be 1,000,000% serious. Not once. Whenever it had a serious plot, it was always wrapped up in something very, very goofy. Every single time. Not once did it try to sell the illusion that it's like gritty and I've been thinking about going back and I'm thinking about all the people I left behind, yada yada. It wasn't. And Z Nation wasn't also trying to explore these like big ideas of like fighting against this whole operation, yada yada. Z Nation was a simple story and it was fun. The Walking Dead was a complex story, and that's what made it great. Like, it's two completely different visions. And that's what makes me the most sad, because I don't even care that this whole France plot exists. I don't. Like, this is beyond the comic book. I don't care that we're not emulating the comic book, yada yada. The only thing I would want is for the grit and the vibe of The Walking Dead to exist, but it doesn't. Rick too. Daryl soloing like 10 dudes in a row is depressing. It's the same thing as Jon Snow. Is the same thing as Bronn constantly appearing. It is pandering to the audience because this is what they think people want. And I mean, to be fair, it is what people want. People still watch the Daryl Dixon show just because it's Daryl. So, you know. You don't sound mad, I am sad. I'm not mad. Because I'm just thinking about like all the different stories they could have told if they just if they started from scratch. Because I don't think there is any sort of zombie fatigue. I don't think the genre itself is doomed. I don't think The Walking Dead is doomed. I don't. I just think they're sort of pigeonholed in these existing ideas that don't even allow the writers to really flex their, well, writing muscles, if that makes sense. It's just like take Daryl and put him in France. And then the writers are like, wait. How are we gonna do that? And then they're like, well, I don't know. Just make it work somehow. And then season 2, Carol comes along, and they're like, well, we somehow got to get Carol from America to France. Like, in a weird way, it would almost be better if they just never showed Carol getting to France and she was just there. Like, almost implied storytelling would be better than this, in my opinion. If it was just left ambiguous. You just never learn how she got there. Admittedly, that makes no sense. Because imagine meeting someone, again, on a different side of the world. The first question you'd ask is, what are you doing here? How did you get here? So it doesn't really make sense dialogue-wise. But, I don't know. Also, this is coming out September. Yeah, I'll probably... If I watch it, I'm gonna do like a main... not a main channel. I'm definitely not gonna do a main channel video on this. The only thing I might do on the main channel with this is like a ranking video of some sort. If I watch it, I'll do like a second channel video just talking about it. Sort of like I did with Dead City. And that's it, but I'm not invested at all. Like, Daryl and Carol survived this season. And I genuinely don't really care all that much about everyone else. No way, no, wait, I just noticed something in the trail. Hold on, where is it? I'm gonna find the frame, then we're gonna go back. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me this entire series is hinging on the idea. What is it? Please don't tell me this entire show is hinging on the idea that they find a plane. This dude, like, shoots it up. And that's why they don't go back to the US. Please don't tell me they actually have another plane that they could fly back to the US. What I would have done is I would have created an overarching storyline between the CRM and between this. I would have never made it very explicit. By the way, the rewrite video thing is going to happen on the second channel probably tomorrow, the day after that. It's basically ready to go. I just need to put up like all the YouTube things. It's not like a thorough rewrite, but it's like a conceptual rewrite with ideas that I would have done with The Ones Who Live, while still within like the world of The Ones Who Live. So like Daryl's not there. It's just Rick and Michonne, the characters that are already in the main show. Carl doesn't come back to life. None of that. It's like just rewriting The Ones Who Live in the like universe of The Ones Who Live. I don't change like any rules about that. So that's happening soon TM. And I talk about that there. What I would have done is I would have made a link between the CRM, Jenner, and Jenner's message, which already exists, by the way. It's already a thing. I would have connected that to the Walker experiments they were doing, which again already exists in the lore. We saw that in the world beyond. And I would have connected all of this to the wildfire virus, and I would have connected the wildfire virus to a random lab in France. And all of these things would have been connected very, very neatly. And then you could have some sort of military organization along the lines of the CRM operating within France, and then you could have a device for Daryl getting back. That's what I would have done. But that would imply, which they don't want to do, that Daryl Dixon comes to an end. Because if he gets back to the US, well, then the story is done. So instead of doing that, they're going to travel to Spain. But basically, my entire idea is that this virus is global. We have thus far only talked about the US, which is silly. As soon as something like that would happen, every single lab across the entire world would be covering the same exact virus, right? And some of them would inevitably survive. Sort of like we see, you know? So it's not like they need to be full-on military units, anything like that. It would just make sense that people across the globe are specialized in this kind of stuff, and then you can link all of these things together, not because it's the same unit, not because it's the CRM, but just because they know the same stuff. And maybe they have communication of some sort. They don't need to be the same group. Season 3 getting back through Russia on bikes? Oh my god. Okay. Hear me out. AMC? This is my pitch. AMC, you're gonna hire me after this. So, we need to get back to the US, okay? We need to get back to the US. We are currently in Europe. What is the fastest way of getting back to the US? Well, going back across the ocean, right? I got an idea for you. This would create at least 11 seasons of Daryl Dixon. What we're going to do is we're going to get on bikes, and we're going north. And we're going all the way through the Baltics. And then at the Baltics, we turn to Russia. And then we're going all the way through to Russia. Right up until Alaska. And then we sail over, and through Alaska, we go all the way back to Washington. What you say about that? I don't want to go to Russia. I don't think they want to go to Russia either. I don't. I really don't. You have the right idea. What we're going to do is we're going to stand on the Great Wall of China. And while we're doing that, like, a lot of walkers are going to run up to the wall. Why? Because it would look cool. That's it. That's the only explanation we need. And then Daryl would ride across the wall on a motorcycle. Because it's Daryl Dixon.